Well, joining me now is Mike Reiss from ESPN. You want to talk about a crazy game? This was a crazy football game, Mike, but they got it done. Since 2019, they haven't won here, and they got it done.
And they almost didn't get it done, right, Steve? I think I was riding the emotions with you and everyone else when they give up the punt return for a touchdown, and you're thinking to yourself, what is it about this place? They just can't do it. And then they get the kickoff return for a touchdown, and you're like, oh, they responded. And then they get the interception, and you're like, oh, let's see if they can close it out. They can't close it out. And I'm watching fans leaving, Steve, and I'm thinking, have they not been around this place?
Exactly.
No? I mean, this game isn't over. And it almost went the other way if the Dolphins didn't step out of bounds. But to your point, they get it done. They made the plays. That's the margin for error in these games. I think it's huge, huge for this football team.
I want to talk about the Antonio Gibson 90-yard kickoff return because he took it to the house. And here's the thing. Special teams had just given up a play, a big play on a punt return. So now they got to gather themselves, come back out on the field, and all of a sudden, they were right back in the football game.
What a response, right? And that's Mike Vrabel to me because Mike Vrabel wants his team to punch back. Bad things are going to happen. How do you respond?
Right.
That's the immediate response. And let me ask you, Steve. I'm watching Antonio Gibson.
I'm watching Mike Vrabel run down the sideline. I'm like, he's more pumped up than Gibson is.
And you love it, right?
Right.
Because that's what Mike Vrabel is. He is all in. He is living this with his players. And I think you saw it.
No question.
That, and I think the team reflects his personality.
Let's talk about quarterback Drake Maye because I thought he took his game to a different level today. He was accurate. He made good decisions. He scored a touchdown with his legs.
He did, Steve. I thought he was great, and it was right from the start. I don't know if you felt the same way, but on that first drive, he just looked more relaxed.
Yes.
He looked more comfortable, and I wonder how much of that was that they ran the ball their first 3 times in a row on their first drive, which was an intention and it allowed them to settle into the game. And I just thought, look at the balance they wanted to create. They didn't have it in week 1. They get 29 rushes this week.
And they were able to run the ball.
And they were able to run it. Our offensive line, but Rhamondre Stevenson playing the starting role.
Ground and pound Stevenson, but he also caught the ball through the air. And let me tell you something. He made things happen after he caught the ball.
I loved it, Steve. I thought the key play was that long 55-yarder. At that point
over the shoulder
game,
catch.
At that point in the game, the Dolphins look like they're about to put the foot down on the throat, and the Patriots needed a response. And it was 3rd down. Drake had to avoid the rush. And I thought at that moment, Drake Maye put the team on his back with help from Rhamondre Stevenson. And I just thought that was, of many turning points in the game, that was one where I would point to and say to Drake Maye, you are growing up fast as a young quarterback.
And you mentioned Drake Maye, and let's go back to the first quarter, because in the first quarter he threw 2 touchdown passes, right? One to Mac Hollins, the other to Keyshawn Boutte.
He did, and the Mac Hollins one, he rolls out wide open. I think a case where his legs sort of helped create that opening. And then the one to Boutte. I mean, Steve, that is just beautiful, or should I say bootyful, because he lofts the ball up there, Steve, and Boutte adjusts, and that's just a great case of, to me, that's one of those plays where the practice that they've put in together, the trust they have with each other, shows up on game day, because when he threw the ball, Steve, I mean, Boutte was covered, right? And it's a chance that it gives the receiver a chance to adjust and make the play.
You mentioned that T-word, trust. Now, Mike Vrabel had to have trust in his kicker to put him back out there to kick the 53-yard field goal. We're talking about Andy Borregales, and here's a guy that kicked here in college, Mike, so he knows his field, missed 2 extra points, but he came through in clutch time.
He did with the 53-yarder, and they didn't want to kick it. I think they would have gone for it if they didn't have a penalty, Steve, and
set him back.
Set back. But then when that happens, again, to the point we're making, Mike Vrabel's wants the team to respond. You handle the situation differently. 4th and long, kick it, you're up by 6. Now go play defense. Ideally, what I think Mike Vrabel wanted to do there was end the game on offense, right? But you turn to your kicker in an adverse spot, and I think that really helped Andy Borregales, even though he didn't get the kickoff after that to the landing zone, and it was a little shaky overall for a young kicker to show the confidence in him, Steve. I think that's sort of a nice, I don't want to say gesture, but a nice thing that maybe Andy Borregales can build off.
And there were some big plays on defense too, Mike. Mapu came up with something big, right? Coming up with the interception, and then Williams comes up with the sack that just sealed it.
Yeah, I thought defensively, Steve, it was a little bit of feast or famine, right? In the second quarter, you're thinking to yourself, are they going to ever be able to stop these guys, right? And the Patriots had controlled the game in the first half, but when they needed it, they delivered. The defense did. And I think, to me, we talk about Miami. You started, Steve. It's a crazy things happen down here. It's a different team, different era, different way of playing defense. And I think the results showed that.
One thing the Patriots have to clean up, I should say, is their penalties, right?
Yes.
They had 12 penalties for 75 yards.
Yes.
And those are the penalties that were accepted. We're not even talking about the penalties that were declined.
That's right. And you put the penalties in two buckets, Steve. You say the ones that you can avoid, which are lining up offsides on defense.
Correct.
False starts, which are like mental focus on offense. I think you had 4 of those, or maybe even more than that. So clean those up. Holding calls, those are judgment calls by the official, right? Like those could go a number of different ways, but special teams as well, clean them up in that area.
One last thing, how they do against Pittsburgh coming up?
That is going to be tough. Steve, I would have said that it's an L before I saw that Pittsburgh really struggled with Seattle. So, hey, this is going to be a great week, and it should be a great weekend down there with Bill Parcells, Julian Edelman going into the Team Hall of Fame the day before.
Good point by you.
All right,
Great
Steve.
stuff from Mike
Love being
Reiss.
down with you.